All right, Jack Harlow's new album, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
What's up? You're watching HIVEMIND, the most clueless show on the internet. My name is Riley, always joined by my shoeless co-host, Graydon.
What the heck?
Jack Harlow's new album, Come Home, the Kids Miss You, is out now. We're gonna go through our best and worst lyrics, features, beats, samples, and songs.
Let's do it.
Make sure to like, subscribe, Patreon down in the description for extra content, Cameo down there if you want a special message from us, and we got a show June 4th. Detroit. Tickets in description.
God, I'm so excited to talk about this album.
So this album, pretty universally praised. Everybody on the internet seems to love this album.
Yeah.
Nobody has anything bad to say about it.
The record of the summer. And it's gonna stump Kendrick's drop. I think he's gotta push back.
Yeah.
He's gotta push back another week.
So we're gonna go song by song. Here are just lyrics from these songs. Then we're gonna give our best and worst.
Yep.
Because there are a lot to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of quotables in this one, tons of Instagram captions, you know, what have you.
It is kind of caption rapper album.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Heartthrob Lifestyle, I could not fake it.
Heartthrob lifestyle, I could not fake it.
A Gucci Mane interpolation,
Yeah.
but I mean, everybody does the rockstar lifestyle.
Yeah.
I just picked this picture because I thought that was funny.
Unbelievable. It's weird when you see him clean shaving. The beard has become such a staple of his image.
I heard him say in an interview that the beard is legitimately what made people start to take him seriously.
I believe it.
I know. He was like, yeah, people, you just look more grown up. You take me seriously when I have a beard.
Imagine if I had a beard.
Oh.
Picture it, guys.
I'm gonna fuck the earrings off of you.
Yeah, now this one kind of hit home for me. Because I was wearing earrings and then the government fucked them off me with tax season.
Yeah, there you go.
And I lost them in the government's bed and it won't answer my calls anymore.
I actually love this lyric.
Yeah, it's a good lyric. It's
Like,
funny.
everybody's been shitting on this lyric on Twitter, but I think it's like one of those quotables that does not hit my ear and I go, ooh. There's a bunch of them like
Yeah.
that. This one's good.
Also, as, you know, sex havers and stuff, we can relate.
Yeah, that's true.
Big time sex guys.
I'm bouncing. I think I need some counseling.
This one, it's in the way he delivers it.
Yeah.
I'm bouncing.
I think I need some counseling. I do not like this one.
What is he bouncing?
I don't
like,
know.
what's bouncing?
I think his moods, maybe he's bouncing between moods.
Yeah.
It's in mood swings.
And there's so much talk of him being like stone cold sober in this album.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're sober, you don't need counseling. Save that for the addicts.
All right. This one, like, people are not talking about this one enough.
Just forcing it in there.
Can't lie, I'm on Angus Cloud 9. If somebody in the future is watching this, Angus Cloud is Fez in the show Euphoria.
Yes.
That's just the name of the actor.
Yep.
There's nothing. I'm on Angus Cloud 9. Did he go get like a really good burger? I liked them girls that was in the Aeropostale.
I did.
Now them same girls got coke in their nostrils.
I like this line.
You do?
I like this line.
I
'cause
hate it.
I grew up with like posh Midwesterners, and
Yeah.
posh Midwesterners would wear Aeropostale and American Eagle, and then they went on to do cocaine.
I relate to it because for the same reasons,
Yeah.
but just his delivery makes this so corny.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to capture that whole like, I used to do this and now I do this.
Yeah.
You know, but it just doesn't land.
Yeah, it is a little strange, and it's just it's such a white bar.
I mean, it is a white bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
This one I actually really like. From
Yeah.
Side Piece, I call my pops and let his son talk like Mavi.
Yep.
Because Mavi's album is called Let the Sun Talk.
Yes.
Underground North Carolina rapper Mavi.
Yeah, it's a cool little,
Yeah, it's just homage.
a nod.
Yeah, it's a little nod. It's cool.
On maybe one of the worst songs on the album,
Yeah.
though. Jeez.
Yeah. At the end of Side Piece,
Piece.
he just says, "Go Italy, let's have sex on a yacht."
Yep. Go Italy. Let's have sex on a yacht.
I don't know. He's watching the Olympics, I guess. People are not talking about this one. Well, people are talking about a part of this bar, and I don't think they understand the reference here, and I think the reference makes it worse.
Okay.
This is an R. Kelly reference.
Really?
Yes. Baby, do you have your passports? Did you get your shots? Do you want to come back to America with Rob to America?
Wow, yeah.
That whole thing that he does, that one like
Yeah.
where he's like freestyling or whatever.
That is so weird. I did not piece that together
Why
yet.
would he do this reference? It's so
Yeah, that is gross.
Yeah.
It's
Because people
gross.
think it's an anti-vax bar. I think it's worse.
Yeah, it's
I think
worse.
it's worse than being
somehow
anti-vax.
a nod to R. Kelly.
I haven't seen a single person talk about that either, so it could be that I'm false, like
yeah, like
I'm like
correlation.
connecting two things, but like it really feels like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this one too. This one like stays in my mind.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
What did he mean by this?
What's wrong? You never fucked with someone who writes songs? What's wrong, baby? You're not accustomed to my lifestyle? This is my lifestyle. This is what I do for my job. I know it's crazy. I know it looks wrong. I can tell you've never been with anyone who writes songs.
Show me what you wrote. Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet semen. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess I just don't get it.
It's just something I'm working on.
You know we keep that bourbon out the barrel, Diddy Kong.
I like this bar.
This one's nice because it's a reference, a Kentucky reference.
It's a regional reference.
Yeah.
Bourbon it runs through the veins of everyone who lives in Kentucky.
Yep.
And, you know, Diddy Kong was famous for chucking those big barrels around.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh.
You woo. Hey,
Oh,
yeah. One of 2 Korean references on this album.
Yeah, the bussin'.
Yeah. That's a weird one. Also seems a little forced.
I haven't seen anybody talk about that. I mean, he's referencing Busan.
Busan, yeah.
And he's saying like bussin', like we the new Korea bussin'.
Yeah.
It's not right.
No.
But this one, you know I like to dictate things, Kim Jong.
Yeah. In reference to the leader of North Korea,
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un.
Brave reference.
Very brave.
On I Got a Shot, she think I'm cold, I seen her nipples.
Seen him.
This one is another one that when you read it, it sounds terrible, but for some reason in the song, it doesn't hit my ears that bad.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything, Jack gets credit for plenty of stuff on this album. I'm not going to drag it through the mud all day.
Yeah.
But he has like a tonality and an ability to deliver lines that, like you said, when read in your own mind and like that voice that is your inner dialogue, it just is cringy. And then he does it in a way where you're like, all right.
But sometimes his delivery absolutely just flops it. Like, there are times where I think it's okay, and then when he delivers it, I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm guessing when the whole world loves you, people only got one way to stand out on Churchill Downs.
Yeah.
I like this bar a little bit.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of great bars that aren't just great because they're funny on
Right.
this album. And this one I feel like is actually like a well-written, like if Drake said this,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, nice.
Well, you got to come with your best when you put Drake on it.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true. Like a blade of grass wants sunlight, I just want that ass.
And now what people don't realize about this one yet, I'm sure they'll come around to it.
Yeah.
It's a Blade reference.
Oh, really?
This is again another subtle nod by Jack, but this time to the Drain Gang.
Drain Gang, really?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, nice.
So like a Blade,
Yeah, I see. I hear the name.
Blade.
Yeah, that's his name.
That's the leader of the Draining Gang.
Yeah, Drain CEO.
Uh-huh.
Swedish rapper, singer.
Wants sunlight. Blade comes from a part of the world where there's 24-hour sunlight sometimes, I believe.
Sweden?
Yes. Land of the eternal sun, I believe is what they call it.
Sure.
I just want that ass, the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
So that's something, I don't know if I'm breaking that to a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
people,
okay.
but
Hey.
it's pretty interesting that he chose to shout out, like Mavi and Drain Gang.
Yeah, a nod from one white rapper to another.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Jack. All
Thanks,
right.
Jack.
Some of these girls in the mix more than engineers.
Yeah, this one really just kind of get it out of here.
Yeah, Drake would have written this one too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Not to mention, we'll get to it, but how many people are involved?
Are in the mix.
Are in the mix, are involved in these songs is astounding. So
Yeah.
if the girls get credit, I wouldn't even be surprised.
No.
Now, this one I felt like could have been a little bit of a diss at us.
Yeah, I felt this one personally.
This one hit me a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm an artist, man. You just make fun of things.
Yeah.
Which is true. That's what we do.
That's what we do, but there's an art to it.
Yeah, it's an art.
If it wasn't, everyone would be doing it successfully.
That's true.
Also, the proclamation that, like, he's an artist, it's fine. I get it. He
is an artist, but
I get it.
I know what you're about to say.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
this album is a little bit...
I'm an artist, man. Look at my work.
Right.
And it's like, all right, you seen her nipples, sweet, sweet semen, you know what I mean? We can go down the list, and we have been, but...
Yeah. All right, let's do our best and worst.
Come on.
My worst is from Side Piece, and these clothes fit a little perfect on my body. I don't need nobody searching for my body, especially when I'm working on my body. So he's saying essentially, I've been working out, and so I don't want to die because I want my body to look better at the funeral, or what's the deal?
And he can now afford tailored clothes.
Right.
I think that's a part of the flex. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, these clothes fit better than the average because they're just for me.
They're just for me, yeah.
I don't want anybody searching for my body. I believe this is in a larger verse context where he's talking about being in Argentina and he's like scared for his life.
Oh, okay, word.
And so he doesn't want people searching for his body because he's so well dressed that might bring danger to him.
I see.
You know what I mean?
That makes it a little bit better, but at the same time,
It's
like
body.
body, and I mean, only Megan Thee Stallion can do that.
And great, you're working on your body, Jack. Like, he doesn't look that crazy. Until he gets like Drake ripped, I'll be impressed.
He looks good. Jack looks good. I have nothing bad to say about Jack's looks. We're
Physical
gonna
appearance?
we're gonna keep it on the music.
Yeah. Okay. My least favorite lyric is, I'm gonna have you cream filled on some donut shit. And then he says, yo, I'm gonna chill on some grown-up shit. Here, I believe Jack is starting to get into more sexual innuendos.
Yes.
And here he's talking about the sweet cream filling his sweet sweetie.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
And those two sweet ingredients kind of resemble a donut.
Yeah.
Bavarian cream filled to be specific.
Right.
I mean, this is a vomit-inducing line that sends a chill up my spine that really no one's even came close to before.
My favorite is on Churchill Downs, which he did get killed by Drake, but this is one of his better verses. I know my grandpa would have a heart attack if I pulled $100,000 out, so I'm not gonna pull $100,000 out. I like this line.
Yeah.
Insinuates a few things. One, he has $100,000 and could pull it out.
Got it on him.
His grandpa has never seen money like that.
Never.
It would actually give him a heart attack if he did see that amount of money.
Probably kill him.
And he cares about his grandpa.
Yes.
He's not gonna pull $100,000 out because he doesn't want to kill his grandpa just to flex his money.
Yeah, that's nice.
There aren't that many on the album that do that for me.
No, that's true.
Right afterwards, I'm like, oh yeah, he got that off. That was nice. I mean, listen. We're two white boys from the Midwest. I was rooting for this album. I ended up not being able to root for it for very long, but...
I wanted more horse bars in Churchill Downs.
Right.
All right. Now, here's my favorite lyrics. This comes from I'd Do Anything to Make You Smile. He says, hotels 5-star like you play for Coach Cal, but they call me Young Patino because I'm good in both towns.
Yes.
Now, this is in reference to Coach Calipari for the Kentucky Wildcats college basketball team.
Yes.
And Rick Pitino, former Kentucky Wildcats head coach, and then legendary Louisville head coach.
Cardinals,
Jack's hometown. And so having coached for both teams, he's good in both towns.
Yes.
Coach Cal's famous for, these extravagant recruitment visits. You put players up in magnificent hotels, let them take the Ferrari out for the weekend, give them a pound of cocaine and $100,000, see what they, show them the town the right way.
Let Drake do the layup line.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But Pitino, equally shisty. I mean, the NCAA's got, a litany of allegations of immoral recruiting ethics.
And a litany of allegations over at Penn State.
So it's kind of like reference to like sports gangsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These head coaches for these huge college basketball powerhouses are very much like gangster-like figures.
Yeah.
And so it works on a ton of levels. I think it's great.
Yeah. I will say that Jack is at his best when he is doing small niche references to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, that's like the shit. Like we looked up the whole thing about the Dundee Rebel thing in the talk of the town, and that's like the high school he went to or something. Like it's like a random reference, and I feel like when he does that, it comes off as very charming. It's that there's not very much of that on this album.
Yeah, and I feel like it's those moments that do endear him to his biggest fans.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yes, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. For me to like a Jack Harlow album, I feel like it would have to be about falling in love with a girl from Kentucky with tons of references to their hometown, and then an entire song about how weird it was to introduce her to Kevin Hart. Like that sort of, like that's like the charming Jack Harlow that I need.
Yeah.
He's good at narratives.
Yeah.
When he does like a back and forth talking where he's the guy, he's him and she's the girl, he's good at that.
Yeah.
But when he's just doing like one-liner Jack here and there, it's like, ugh.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. If it was like a girl next door type story, high school sweeties, something like that.
That's what we need Jack on. Yeah. Before we leave the lyrics section, there are a few things I wanted to bring up. One, the Dua Lipa thing. He made the whole song called Dua Lipa. The lyric, I didn't put a lyric card up, but Dua Lipa, I'm trying to do more with her than do a feature. The first time I heard that, even in the snippet, I was like, you got to be crossing a line. I mean, the music industry, there's a water cooler. You're going to see her at an event.
Sure.
Like, you can't just say that sort of thing.
Yep.
Now, I did watch a bunch of Jack Harlow interviews following this album, and he says that he called her and asked for her blessing on that song.
Really?
Yes. Now, this is how he said the call went. He said he called her and he played her the song, and she said, this is his impression of it. He was like, well, I suppose it's okay. It's not my song.
Huh.
And he's like, if she wouldn't have given me her blessing, I wouldn't have put the song out. And I was like, that doesn't sound
like much
of a blessing. It sounds more like I don't feel like I can say no to this.
Right, because it's not my song.
And it sucks because we both have said this. It is regrettably one of the catchier, better, more listenable songs on this album. I feel like it's going to be the next hit.
Yeah, I think it's got the most legs of like any song yet to pop off.
Yeah.
Like, you had Glamorous or whatever.
First Class.
And
Nail Tech.
And now this is next in line.
Yeah. And I personally feel like it's just crossing a line. He shouldn't have put that record out.
No, and it's like, it's also from his angle, I feel like it's like shouting up. Dua is bigger than him and like a better musician or artist in my mind. Like as I see her, she's like a mega pop star.
Yeah.
And sure, so is Jack, but like, this just seems too like novel.
And I hate to say it, he shot his shot at Saweetie that one time. That was like a big meme. Like Jack Harlow shooting a shot with Saweetie.
Yeah.
Like doing that in an award show where you kind of like
A little flirt.
You have a little flirt thing at an award show is different than putting it in the music.
Right.
This is something that white kids around the country are going to be singing at college campuses forever.
Yeah.
People are going to be basically echoing the sentiment of, I want to have sex with Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
It's sexualizing a huge pop star.
Yeah,
Like,
and like a peer or a colleague or something.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
So, I mean, that, I feel like I haven't seen many people be critical of that in any other way.
Okay.
Like, I haven't seen a lot of criticism for that.
That's strange.
And I feel like there should be.
Yeah.
That is weird.
No, the criticism is warranted there.
Yeah, for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah. On a lighter note, before we leave the lyrics section, I also want to say that on the Fergie thing, the Fergie interpolation, we said, I've been a G, throw up the L, sex in the AM. First of all, I think that's pretty clever. It's pretty well done. I thought when he said throw up the L, it was a Smash Mouth reference, but then I realized it's from Louisville. You know, like the shape of the L on the forehead sort of thing. I thought it was
Shout
like,
out Shrek.
that sort of deal. But
Fortnite dance.
yeah, it was that sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be a Fortnite.
Fortnite dance.
Fortnite dance. Could
No.
be that. Features.
Yes.
He said legends only on this album. There are only 4 features. There's one uncredited Snoop Dogg interlude, which was really good.
It is really cold.
Yeah, that was nice.
And that comes in the first song.
Second song.
Yeah. And when that came in, I was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, I was
the
like,
OGs are co-signing. Snoop says he's the new Mac, like it's a Return of the Mac
reference. Yeah.
So cool. And then, then we went from there. And it didn't quite take off like I thought it could.
All right, worst feature for me is Pharrell.
Yeah, same.
And it's not bad by any means. Like his vocal feature is not bad. It's just like the features actually aren't bad on this album. The features are they hold their own for sure.
No, and I mean, Pharrell's featured in this album in a lot of other ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can hear his influence. You can hear his production, like whatever little calling cards speckled throughout certain songs. And then his feature, when he brings his vocals in, it just feels too much like, I don't know, the melody's strange. I do like it kind of at the end.
I was going to say the second half is good when he says like, do it jiggle though. And then it's like, boom, and it drops in. I like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, his first like, that type of life. Like it just doesn't work on a Jack Harlow song that well. You know?
It feels strange.
Yeah, and it's like a club record. Like I was surprised based on the hype for that. How Pharrell had said like, oh, we made a classic. Jack's like, that's my favorite on the album. Like all of that. I was like, this one?
Yeah.
It's like a Tyga beat, you know?
Yeah, it is. It reminds me of like Rack City.
Yeah. For best feature is Drake.
Yeah.
He creates such a distance between him and Jack.
Yeah.
Like, I saw somebody tweet, this new Jack Harlow album makes me realize we've been taking Drake's music for granted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this is like, Jack's aiming for the same thing.
Sure.
He's aiming for the Drake thing a little bit. Not 100%. I see where he's trying to differentiate himself, but like...
He's not as mysterious.
But Drake, that verse...
is good.
Is the best thing on the album, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
Yeah, it's wild how much better that is than everything on the album.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Whips and chains like a dominatrix.
Whoosh. That was really close to my favorite lyric. That like little 4-bar stanza right there is so sick. Spit on you.
Yeah.
And then
Daytona's with the green faces, the
like,
Pusha T diss, you know. And
just
Pusha T's
crazy.
my favorite rapper, so I mean Pusha T would still kill him again if they went for another round, I think. But Drake absolutely kills this feature. It's so good. Like, let's go to production.
Okay.
So I think the production on this album, overall, it has its hiccups, but it is pretty good.
It's solid.
But I think when it is good, it exposes Jack for not being able to tackle these beats.
Yeah.
Like there are parts where I'm like, what flow did he pick for this?
Right.
Like why? It sounds awkward. Like the production outshines him in those moments.
Yeah.
But there are some pretty bad beats on this. My least favorite beat is I Got a Shot.
Yeah.
I got a shot, it's not a pistol. #1 spot, I'm too official. Name ringing bells like
I know you remember. I know you remember.
It kind of feels like that post Hotline Bling era.
Yeah.
Where like Justin Bieber made a song that sounded like that. Drake kept making songs that sounded like that, mixed with like BB No Money.
Yeah.
Like meme rap doing kind of like a like mariachi thing or they're doing like a dance hall thing. They're trying to like bring in these other things that make it feel like it's just gimmicky. And I feel like it's way too gimmicky for a Jack album. And then for him to try to sing over it like that, I was like...
There is a melody in that, now I remember, that it is kind of infectious to me. For whatever reason, it's stuck, but that's not to say I like the song by any means. And also, it's another thing that like brings light to how we don't give Drake a lot of credit that he might deserve, because the way he can play hot and fast with genres is really hard and comes off really bad when you don't do it right.
Right.
My least favorite beat is Poison, and it's mostly because of everything that it could have been.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're doing an interpolation of that girl is poison.
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah, you have a Lil Wayne sample in there.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Officer.
You have the Wayne feature.
Yeah.
Which is like all these things are aligned and like those ingredients look good on the surface. You even have John Mayer on production.
Yeah.
Beloved guitarist, bachelor himself, similar to Jack in that way.
Yeah.
On production, and it just falls flat. And especially for me, it's like the beat switch when that happens. And it goes into like the denim bars and stuff. It just feels really corny and kind of like a played out idea in general.
Kinda crazy how you're on my mind.
It feels cheap for
It's just
whatever reason.
awkward,
Yeah,
yeah.
it feels cheap. It's like, oh, now we need that beat switch. And it's like, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I love the Wayne feature. I think it's really cool, that heavy auto-tune, high-pitched Wayne. He's got tons of memorable bars in there, but as a whole song, that beat really disappointed me.
Yeah. Wish I had said in the lyrics section, I think it's hilarious that Lil Wayne says, I eat so much shrimp I got iodine poisoning.
Unbelievable bar.
Because you know his name used to be Shrimp Daddy?
No, I did not.
Lil Wayne's name used to be Shrimp Daddy, named after Pimp Daddy, because he was short.
He's a small
So shrimp,
man.
like,
He's a small man.
But iodine poisoning, I mean, that's intense. He really loves shrimp.
That's a lot of shrimp.
He's a lot of fucking shrimp.
That's like a shrimp cock in the morning, shrimp scampi in the evening.
A what in the morning?
Shrimp cocktail?
Okay. Yeah.
You just must not have heard me right.
Okay. My favorite beat is First Class.
Yeah.
I mean, what a waste of a beat. His verses on that are absolutely the almost awkward shit. Like the, yes, I am. No, I confess I am. I guess I am. Like, what is he doing? Anyway,
I've been throw up the sex in
Yeah, it is an amazing beat.
I mean, when I heard the snippet, I was like, oh, Jack's coming with a smash. It is a smash hit. It's number one, but it's like, I hate what he did with it. I hate the verses so much. He had it. He had it right there.
It's so clean.
Yeah.
It's so clean. And that's so catchy, too. I mean, I loved that song when it first came out.
Yeah.
I remember being a child.
Shout out to Luda.
Learning how to spell. Never knew how to spell before Fergie dropped that. Now look at me.
That and Gwen Stefani taught me. Bananas and glamorous were my first 2 words, actually.
And then Independent.
Yeah.
And for me, my favorite beat is Like a Blade of Grass, which is a very silly song, but the beat is bounce worthy.
I'm on you, cause I want you.
I mean, the Stevie Wonder influence. It sounds like Stevie playing the harmonica.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of little parts in this beat that just kind of poke through and keep it moving, and that bass is sweet. Feels like a Pharrell marching band kind of.
Yeah, you said
drum.
Clips.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Clips beat.
Yeah. It's a little softer than the old Clips beats,
Right.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. I love that beat, and that beat alone, just kind of like First Class. Like, I'll come back and listen to it, even despite some of the awkward cadences and lack of really catchy melodies.
While we're on the production,
Yeah.
let's talk about the credits for this album.
Oh, you mean these? A lot of people on every single song.
I didn't know this. He told me this. He
Yeah.
came in and was like, there are 12 to 14 people on every song as writers.
I think there's 13 on the first track, which is like a minute long.
Oh my gosh.
And like you said, this could also be a thing with Jack where he's the man, he's cool with everyone, and he just credited anyone that was in the room. Mm-hmm. It's just weird to me that even if he's just crediting the friends, there's a boardroom of people that these lyrics slid by on.
Yeah.
They were like, Dad, that's good, Jack. Tell him sweet, sweet semen again. And they're like, no, we already said that in the last song. Say you're going to fill her up like a donut. They're like, yeah, got it. That's lunch, guys. Yeah. It's just strange.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there shouldn't be more than 2 writers on any song on this album.
And maybe that's part of the issue here.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was 1 or 2 focused mind, if it was just Pharrell and Jack in a room instead of 14 other people kind of chirping in all their silly ideas, you wouldn't have to do this weird balancing act and end up with some goofy shit.
Yeah, because I also feel like there might be people in there too many Kentucky references. The people aren't going to get that, you know?
You haven't talked about Margot Robbie yet. How about you get her in there?
Oh my God, that part is so weird.
weird.
He just goes I think I need a hobby. Yeah, probably. Like Margot Robbie. I'm in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, dressed in all white, you almost feel godly. That's weird.
Nothing makes any sense.
That's weird.
Anyway, honestly, get Drewski in the room. Let him write some funny bars. If you're friends with Drewski, you don't need all these guys.
Yeah, it's strange.
Favorite samples.
Yes.
We're not doing our least favorite because, it's just we're just trying to dig up the little gems and stuff.
Yeah.
So my favorite sample is on a song I don't even like,
Yeah.
which is a side piece, but I thought it was an interesting sample, which is a sample of Beautiful by Snoop Dogg featuring Pharrell and Charlie Wilson. And it takes Charlie Wilson's vocals and kind of turns them into almost like a Sampha, ghostly, deep thing on a Drake type beat. So that's the original.
Yeah.
It's kind of like 4 minutes into the song. It's like at a later point, and then that gets turned into. And honestly, I do not like this beat, but I like that little.
It's beautiful.
Little
it has like
section.
almost like a bossa paced guitar to it.
Totally, yeah.
And that reverb, that kind of like like a Leslie speaker effect going on there.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's not a ton of like deep cut cool samples in this. You know,
Yeah.
you can't go through the credits of this album and find a bunch of like funk or jazz that you've never heard of, obscure crate digging kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost like, well, Snoop was on the album, Pharrell did production, so we can clear this one easy.
Yeah.
Like, let's flip it.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And
but-
you got Mrs. Officer on the Lil Wayne song.
Exactly.
You've got-
All the samples are very on the nose. For me, my favorite sample is No 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 Part 1, Destiny's Child on the intro track.
Talk of the Town.
Talk of the Town, just how it's that all the way cranked down. He turns Destiny's Child into like Satan.
Yeah. It sounds hellish.
It does sound hellish.
Yeah.
And like I was like, oh, what's that sample? And I was like, Destiny, what the fuck?
Because he also says Destiny's Child,
Right.
like, and then he, yeah.
No, 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 no. Great jam.
Child, that's. Am I the realest?
I mean, to me, that's like just great sample work. It's
Yeah.
on like this kind of weird, sparse jazz beat, and then you just get this like evil Destiny's Child sample that plays as like a back and forth with him. Am I the realist? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like he's aiming for kind of like a Kanye thing, how Kanye
Yeah.
will like talk to his samples
Yeah.
a little bit, you know? It's a good reference there, for sure.
A nice little moment. Honorable mention goes to Fergie as well, too. We can't let that go.
Yeah, we didn't really, I mean, that one's just so obvious
Yeah.
that I wanted to like point out the ones that people might not know.
Sure.
But I mean, obviously that is an incredible sample.
It is an incredible sample.
Yeah. Now, overall, I did not like this album at all. I was very disappointed by it. I didn't have very high expectations for Jack, but I was expecting some songs to take with me. Like, oh, he got this one, he got this one. The middle of this album is a terrible run.
Kind of like swallow it, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
My least favorite song, I believe, is also your least favorite song, which is I Got a Shot.
Yeah, just like, it just feels so corny. The pocket he finds, to me, is like the most awkward. I got a shot, not a pistol.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
Yeah.
I don't like that song.
Cause now I'm somebody you used to know. Hanging to places I used to go. Driving G-Wagon with Louis V baggage.
And this might come as a shock because I know the Goye interpolation is meaningful to you.
yeah, I saw that it was actually listed as an interpolation of somebody that I used to know. It's ridiculous.
Again, Jack has a way of doing something that, like, from a distance, you're like, uh-oh, he did Goye. Like, let me get over there and see what it...
See, it's tough for me to say, but of these new crop of tracks from the album, I'm only really going to take Churchill Downs with me. And I'll probably listen to it because of the Drake part. I mean, Jack holds his own on that track. Doesn't hold his own, like, he doesn't compete with Drake.
Sure.
But it is a fine verse from Jack.
Yeah.
It's just Drake really outdoes him there. And so that's not my favorite track. My favorite is still Nail Tech, which is the first single from the album.
Walk around with my chest out and my skin smooth, I'm healthy. I'm in a mix and I'm handshaking, but most of y'all can't help me.
I think he's just better in a pocket like this, in kind of like the triumphant, the trumpet thing, the heavy knock of the beat. Like this on the radio, when this comes on, I'm like, I like this one.
It's good.
You know?
My favorite song's Parent Trap, but it kind of shows the other side of that. Like, Jack works well in that triumphant space, but I also think moving forward, he can work really well in an R&B space.
Okay.
Looking around, it's hard to believe where I'm at. Everywhere I look, somebody staring back.
For me, this song is like, I saw something in him in this song where I'm like, okay, you can go really far in this direction and maybe make a sophisticated R&B album down the road.
Right.
I could see, Ty Dolla $ign feature. I could see more Timberlake stuff.
It's funny that you mentioned Ty Dolla $ign because I feel like when he does sing on Poison, he sounds like he's trying to do a Ty Dolla $ign
little bit,
thing.
yeah.
But this one, I think it reminds me a little bit of like Heard 'Em Say.
Okay, yeah.
Kanye and Adam Levine from Maroon 5. Like just that whole like, nothing lasts forever. Because Justin really like weaves in and out of like this, the kind of like soft piano thing. I don't mind this song, but I'm never going to listen to it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like it's fine when it's on.
For me, like Talk of the Town, Parent Trap, Churchill Downs are like the ones I'll probably leave this album with.
Yeah.
Somewhere deep in a shuffle.
Although I did not like this album at all, I'm not saying there's no potential left for Jack. I think he's an interesting character outside of his music.
Yes.
And if he brings some of that in, like if he can be as funny on a song as he is sitting with Drewski and joking around or on his interviews or whatever, if he can bring some of that charm and find a way to work it into his music, I really do think there's something really compelling about Jack Harlow. It's not just nothing, but overall, I think it's a real misfire.
Yeah, it was not for me.
It's an ambitious album that really did not have much to show for itself. Like, it showed how his delivery is not developed enough to stand his own against somebody like Drake, bars that are just not connected to each other, unable to string together narratives. And
consistently just leaning on the Playboy energy.
Yeah. Overall, we are not loving this Jack Harlow album, but those are our favorite and least favorite lyrics, our favorite and least favorite features, our favorite and least favorite beats, our favorite samples, and our favorite and least favorite songs. Let us know yours down in the comments and in the chat if you're watching this live. Also, let us know other albums you want us to do this for. We're probably going to do it for the Kendrick album that comes out next week, Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper, so look out for that. Check out the other videos on our channel. Again, our Patreon is linked in the description. You get a bunch of extra content if you join that. We got all that stuff linked down there. Make sure you like and subscribe. Other than that, Graydon, you want to leave these wonderful people with some advice to live their lives by?
I do. He who laughs at himself will never run out of things to laugh at.
All right, this has been HIVEMIND TV. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. First you feed yourself, then you feed the worms.
Yeah.
That's life.
That's life. That's a good quote.
First you feed yourself, then you feed the worms. I like that, actually.